Hello everyone, welcome to Ignition.
And today we're going to show you our favourite YouTube channels from 2020.
Videos, but I'm going to start off with my first channel, which is going to be one of my favourites.
We've picked three each.
We've picked three each,
and we've picked these so that if you haven't seen them, most of them you probably will, but if you haven't seen them, then we suggest for 2021 you check some of these out.
Yes, so I'm starting off with Carwow. He's got just over 5 million subscribers. Jealous. And he's a fantastic
5 million.
5 million. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, we're sitting here with 300 at the moment, which is better than I expected.
I tell you what, no, I'm pleased. I'm chuffed with that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, subscribers have been going up recently. But this is Carwow, so he does a mixture of car reviews and drag races. Dad mainly watches for the reviews, and I mainly watch for the drag races, I think, don't I?
Yes, I mean, I enjoy the drag races, and without sounding big-headed, which I'm going to, I very rarely get them wrong.
Oh yeah, right. Do you?
You know, because that's what I do. I have this habit, because I'm quite pathetic. He introduces the cars, and he's got them lined up, as you can see here on the runway. I pause it, and then I work out the order I think they're going to finish in, and then I play, and I am wrong. I'm not going to say, but not often. Not often.
Okay, but yes, I mainly watch for the drag races because he does some weird and wonderful ones. He does some weird cars, like he's done lorries. He's done a lorry drag race. He does supercars, sort of SUVs. He drag races everything. And now I think he's slightly running out of ideas. He's doing totally different cars drag racing, and it is quite interesting.
Yeah, and he gets tuned cars that you like.
Yes, he also gets tuned cars, which go wrong.
Yanimize, who I don't watch. I'll be honest.
No,
car rapping doesn't interest me.
No, so I know of Yanimize, and I think he's quite funny on the drag races.
Yeah,
he's a nice chap.
I just don't like car rapping. When you've seen one, you've seen it all.
But they're very competitive, the two together, which it does make the drag race much more interesting. So Carwow I think is fantastic, but if I put in the background, we'll be able to see him just reviewing a car. So he does.
What I tend to like watching car reviews because you know, you can't get in every single car. I mean, in the UK we used to get in virtually every single car because it was much easier, but here the dealers in Portugal,
they lock all the cars.
I mean, they lock the cars, but the chances of having an Artian in there are pretty slim.
Yeah, that's very true. They sort of have ups and smaller cars, don't they?
That car's not going to sell here. No. So, but this is him. What he tends to do is obviously the manufacturers give him a car. He's probably the #1 YouTube channel, so you will have heard of him, but if you haven't, then you've been under a rock of some description. But we enjoy the majority of things he does.
Yes, I mean, he gets at least 1 million views mainly per video, which is ridiculous. He's definitely the most viewed car man
reviewer
on YouTube.
Yeah, because I mean the competition for him, Arctic Fuel, he's someone I watch a lot.
Yes.
But you know, when I was thinking of channels that I really enjoy, I really enjoy him, but he's not in my top 3.
No, you see, so Carwow's in my top 3 because when I go on, as soon as I open YouTube, his videos, the Carwow's videos come up, and I always watch them. You know, I'm always excited to watch them.
Yes. So I've slightly lied because when I say I only watch car, 2 of the channels I've got, they still are car related, but they do little other things around them, as we will see.
Right.
And but that Artian's a nice looking car, but that's not what we're here for. So
no. I think we'll move on to the next one.
Should we move on?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. So here we are, we've got another one of mine, which is Cletus McFarland. Now, I doubt you've ever heard of him before.
I don't think you've said that rightly. It's Cletus!
Cletus McFarland, yes, he's a YouTuber from America. I don't watch many Americans really, but the ones I do watch are my favourites, you see. So Cletus isn't someone my dad would watch, I don't think. It's not really his type of thing. I wouldn't have said, because it's mainly...
No.
He does a lot of drag car builds. He's built a Corvette, which is ridiculous. It's under 9 seconds on the quarter mile. So he does drag racing, proper American style. And he also has just bought a racetrack. So he's got his own sort of circular...
He's bought a racetrack?
Yeah, he's bought a racetrack. So he's got an oval racetrack.
Cool.
And all him and his mates.
And he's only got 2.35 million subscribers. I say only.
Only, yes. Yes, so he's bought a racetrack.
Wow. From this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and all him and his mates, they all bring their cars, do burnouts and all sorts of things, which doesn't interest you.
No, it would actually.
But,
no, I will. If he's bought a racetrack and he's doing things on it,
yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch them because it does interest me.
On the screenshot here, you can see there's a part 4 of him restoring the racetrack because it was old and disused, so he's bought that.
But this is why we've done this, because although I knew this was coming up today, I haven't watched them.
Right.
And you've explained it very well, so I will. You know, that is a channel that's passed me by. I don't really know why it's passed me by, but it just has passed me by.
Yes, I mean, he just does some weird and wonderful things. You know, goes from one extreme like a supercar, but then the next minute he's putting a rotary engine in a minivan. You know, that sort of thing.
Oh no, I like that.
And you know the little Daihatsu.
Why haven't you told me to watch him before then?
Well, I don't know. I suppose I haven't. But he does some properly weird things, and I'd say some quite dodgy things. But I think it's all very, very exciting to watch.
Because I like Colin Furze when he puts
a slingshot or something, making like
or a flamethrower which he uses in his underground lair.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
which isn't cars, so I do watch other things.
So it's sort of these people though, like Cletus, that are different, I suppose. You know, you don't.
Yes.
And he's certainly a.
That's him.
Yeah, he's certainly an interesting looking bloke. He's massive. I think he's 6'5".
Is he?
And
I'm assuming he's from Southern America.
I think so. He's got a very strong accent. Yeah, he's got a very strong accent, and he's always got his American flag up.
Cletus was called, wasn't he? You would know. Cletus was in, wasn't he? The bloke Cletus was in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes. So behind us, you can see the turbos on his Corvette, which is called Leroy, and it's an absolute beast. Rear-wheel drive. Don't know how it puts its power down, but he's built that up over the last few years, and it's an absolute weapon. But he's certainly got a variety of cars. And I think he's a cracking one to watch if you like some weird and wonderful things.
Well, the other thing the only bit I saw when I knew we were doing this, so when we were getting these clips together, is the one where he was in that sand buggy.
Oh right, yeah.
Where he's got sort of tyres with almost tiny little, almost digger style buckets on.
Right.
And having to look up it for half an hour.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But these things I saw, sorry I'm pointing the wrong way, these things in the background, these buggy looking things, there's a bit of it that goes on, and he's got these, as I say, he's got these almost little buckets.
Oh yeah.
Which grip.
Like scoops.
I mean, look at it.
Yeah, it's
and this one in particular, this is the only one I've actually seen a bit of while we got this clip. And this thing on the sand must be doing 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's mental.
It is awesome.
Yeah, well, he's got, like I say, just different sort of vehicles, supercars and whatever, but he's a nice chap as well, because one of his recent videos was he bought his best friend, who's been on his channel for ages, who was driving the Huracan in the last clip. He bought him one of these buggies.
Right.
He stole his pickup truck, so when he came out of the supermarket, he was looking for his truck and it was gone, and he surprised him with one of these buggies, which is, you know, nice. It's nice to see that sort of thing. I like that.
Well, when you got
cash to give away, why not?
Of cash, why not? I suppose, and it is nice to do things to people you like. Yeah, people who've been friendly with you and loyal with you. That's nice.
For sure. So check out Cletus. He's definitely a good one to watch, and that's mine. Other one done.
So my first one is Fully Charged. Anyone, I've mentioned him enough times. I love Fully Charged.
Well, he's got a few subscribers, hasn't he? I thought he had less than that.
I'd have thought he'd have had a lot more by now, and again, this is one that may have passed you by, so this is good. And he's got some good people on it. He's got Rory Reid on it, who you may or not know did Top Gear in the UK, and it's hosted by a chap called Robert Llewellyn, who famous for being in Red Dwarf. There he is. What an attractive man. But he's slightly different. That Fully Charged do a lot of car reviews, so mainly in fact only electric cars, because he's into sustainability.
Okay.
So you know, he's got quite a few different presenters. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them. You're getting a little view of them all here, and some of them are professors. One's a sort of mental stunt man,
right?
And Robert Llewellyn is just slightly mental. So, and it all adds to something.
Because we've done a video that was on his channel, Maddie Goes Electric, wasn't it? Which was a series of a woman called Maddie buying and going through the whole process of an electric car. So he does more realistic tests.
Yes.
And a lot of new cars that come out he gets hold of as well.
So you can see that's Maddie.
There's Maddie there, yes.
So you can see he gets hold of a lot of different electric cars, but he doesn't just get electric cars. He goes and sees wind turbines, electric bikes. Anything to do with sort of generating power. Rory Reid does a few of the car ones as well, because obviously he's a motoring journalist. And then you've got one of the ladies in. He's got a China correspondent, an America correspondent. So we've seen all the electric cars. That's a Ferrari that's had been converted to EV. He's got an EV digger there. EV bike, Tesla Powerwall, and he's been through the lot. So it's a very, very diverse channel. That's in China. And so you're getting to see cars that you would really never see.
Because he's always been around sort of creations and weird things. Because I remember watching him on Scrap Heap Challenge.
Oh, he was fantastic on Scrap Heap Challenge.
I mean, that's one of my all-time favourite shows, Scrap Heap Challenge. And now he drives other weird electric cars as well.
And he's very into his electric. And obviously they've got this chap whose name, is escaping me at the moment.
He looks mental.
He does anything where you may break a bone.
Break a bone, yeah. No, you need someone like that.
And no, it's just a really good. It's different every week. He also does. He sort of does a video a week and the news. This is him.
Yes,
doing
I can
the
see
news.
him sitting behind a screen, a bit like us.
Yeah, and he rants.
Does he?
Oh, he's got. When they mention the fact that an oil company is trying to stop electric, he goes off.
Oh, he's very opinionated, is he?
Oh yeah. He's as miserable as I am.
Oh, good. Blimey, that's a competition to win.
This one was a really interesting one. This is how they're recycling electric batteries.
Oh, right.
Because everyone moans that electric batteries will harm the planet, but it's showing how, in fact, I think they were getting 98% recyclability, and all of these things I've only learnt from watching this channel.
Blimey, okay, right.
And he does seem to get. He goes and sees companies that are making things that you didn't know existed, and I really like that.
Yes, yeah, it's cool. I just saw him on a lawnmower there. He drives
the electric lawnmower.
That's quite cool.
So all of this sort of thing is very different, and this, and they visit different people and they use different, and it's motoring, but with a twist, because you're getting. It's like you remember I told you that. Someone had designed a pavement that, as people walked on it generated enough power to put the lights on, and it's all from this program.
Yes,
and I love electric, and he gets really some seriously good guests on it, and obviously knows a lot of people. So
yes, he does. Yeah, I've only watched him from the Polestar. Really, I watched him doing a review of that, and he's very good. I can't deny he's very good.
Yeah, no, he's an acquired taste, but this chappie, I say the chappie in China. He's showing cars that I'd never heard of.
Yes.
It's helped me expand my knowledge of electric vehicles in a country I know nothing about.
Yes, because China, I know they produce some vehicles that we've never heard of. So
they've got 400 EV manufacturing companies.
Have they?
China.
400?
So 400 different manufacturers of cars.
Blimey.
I mean, was the UK got any?
I don't think so.
EVs?
No, they were going to get the Grenadier, but didn't. So
they've got 400, and it's fascinating. But anyway, I've rabbited on about that one enough. It's an extremely good channel, so I highly recommend, if you haven't watched it, you do.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Another one of your favourites. I mean,
Harry's Garage.
These two are the names I hear all the time. Fully Charged, and on Harry's Garage, he's always telling me. We drive to this office that we work in here, and. Every time we drive here, it's probably a 20-minute, 30-minute drive, and it's
depends who's driving it.
Yeah, every day is on Harry. Harry got this, Harry did that, and I'm going, oh, Harry again. So I don't need to watch the channel because Dad explains everything to me. So.
So Harry Metcraft is Harry's Garage, and he's he and I are probably about the same age. Maybe I hope he's a little bit older than me, but I'm not sure. And his background is he owned Evo magazine, so he's been around motoring. He knows everybody. He's a consultant for Jaguar Land Rover. He's got a car collection of 30-ish cars and motorbikes, and what he gets is he gets cars in, and this is his sort of unit where he keeps, so all the cars in the background are his.
Wow.
So that's his Project 8, and he's got a BMW in. He's just had the Taycan and the Panamera, and he works off a farm, which is his own farm. So he's got two channels. He's got Harry's Farm and Harry's Garage.
Right.
And he's just a very interesting, straightforward and honest man. So the fact he has had 3 Porsches in recently, and without exception slagged all 3 off for one reason or another. And you would imagine, because I think most journalists play, without being too harsh,
they're always complimentary of what they get given.
Well, they've got to be, because they won't get them anymore. I know Matt Watson's not allowed to have a Mazda because he was horrible about them once. So Mazda going, oh, well, which I think is a slight on Mazda.
Yes, me too.
If you make a product that's got a problem
and give it to someone to review it.
They've got to be honest. What's the point of them not being honest?
Yeah, you're right.
And so with Harry, he goes. You'll see him using his own cars. He goes to car shows. He goes to auctions. He gets a lot of cars in, and pretty top end stuff.
Yeah. I mean, looking at his garage, I mean, there's a lot of money's worth in there.
There's a lot of money's worth in there, and he owned a Pagani.
Right. Oh, so he's had a full variety.
Some serious cars of his own. And what he does also, so not only does he review cars, he will take. So the white Rolls Royce is something he bought on eBay for about 5,000.
Really.
And then he took it. He and his wife and I think his son, they drove it from the UK. All the way up through Norway to look at the Arctic lights.
Nice.
And the
white, he chose the Rolls Royce. Old Rolls Royce.
And apparently it's the one, if they're going to go to the local pub or something for lunch, they go in the Rolls.
Oh, cool.
Because it's only a few grand's worth.
Yeah.
So you get to see him drive them. He's a very good driver, and he certainly doesn't hang around with his right foot.
Good.
But the other thing in the background there was a white Lotus, which is the same as the James Bond film. So he took that and recreated and went to all the places where they filmed James Bond. So he does some very interesting stuff. And the other one that was really interesting, sorry, I'm going on too long now,
no problem.
but he owned a Defender, which was in one of the James Bond films, or was it Lara Croft? I can't remember which. But he sold it, and they've put it on a mountain top as a ornament. So he drove up there in his car to see it, and all of those things are just he's just an extremely interesting man, because he's so into the motor industry. He knows all the chairmen of all the companies, so therefore he's got a lot of clout. I mean, if he rings up BMW and said, I want to try an M5, and they go no, he would ring up the chairman of BMW.
He's got a lot of connections.
All about his connections, and therefore he says what he wants to say. I mean, he's driving an M5 in this clip here, whether this is timed correctly with what's rolling around in the background, but he compares that to his Project 8. So he's got cars that he can compare to the ones that he's bringing in, and there's his Project 8.
That's a looker.
It's and the other thing that he's done, which was another channel I thought about recommending, is Tyrrell's Classic Workshop. And I only found that because he took his Maserati to have its engine rebuild there. And you followed that. So he's doing some work on a couple of his cars this year, because at the end of the year he also tells you what it costs to run the cars.
So you get an insight of what...
Yeah, he's very honest. And the difference... I would imagine a lot of people look at him and go, oh, you rich bastard. But, he's earned every penny he's got, and he's running expensive cars, and it's surprising how little some of those supercars cost to run.
To what you'd think.
Unfortunately, when they go wrong, it's a different kettle of fish.
But that's nice, because most YouTubers don't tell you what things cost, even if they're talking about an old grotty car. They won't tell you what they pay or what they spend on it.
Which unfortunately is interesting.
It is interesting.
Money's vulgar,
but it's nice to know, I think. I find it fascinating, because I'd look at that and go, oh, my truck costs this, and then you look at something that's really modern and new and you think, oh, that's not that bad.
See, he was a consultant on this Jag project. So when they were doing the Project 8, which is this XE, and they've put a V8 engine in it, he was a consultant. I don't know what he does, but he was a consultant to Jaguar Land Rover on that, and he bought one. In fact, he's got, I think they made a run of, I can't remember off the top of my head, 200 or something, but he's got number 3.
Has he?
That purple one is number 3.
It's beautiful, yeah.
And he's quite openly paid 170,000 for it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dough.
That's a lot of money. The paint job looks nice though.
Yeah, and he loves that car, but he doesn't drive it that often, and I suppose it's okay.
Yes, very interesting.
So move on.
All right, we will do. Another one of yours.
Oh, another one of mine.
Yeah.
So the Late Break Show. Now this is an interesting one.
Yes, it is.
Because this is Johnny Smith. Now, if you don't know who Johnny Smith is, he was on Top Gear. Then when Top Gear got axed,
Fifth Gear,
it became Fifth Gear. and he's been on Fifth Gear and still is. So he's a presenter on Fifth Gear. So again, someone who's always been around cars. He's a journalist by trade. That's all he's ever done. But because he's worked on Fifth Gear, he's also got a lot of contacts with the people he worked with. But if I'm going to be brutally honest, he set up his channel as Car Pervert. Everyone is doing a YouTube channel, just like we are. And it was very poor because he instantly got the camera on the end. It was just him trying to do it. So I'm being critical.
The type you really don't like.
I just don't like it. But somehow the subscribers have gone up, a bit more cash has come in, and he's changed the name from being Car Pervert to the Late Break Show. Now, again, bear with me here. He's got an Austin Allegro that he's putting a V6 Rover engine in. He's got a Suzuki Jimny that he's doing some additions to. He then obviously gets cars to review, so he's reviewed many of the current electric ones, Aston Martins. He gets a lot of different things, but also because he's got a lot of contacts and he worked on Fifth Gear, he's doing this interview section where he's interviewed Jason Plato and Matt Neal, who are touring car racers.
Oh yes.
And they are really open with him, and I've heard things I never knew.
Because Jason Plato's on Fifth Gear with him.
On Fifth Gear with him, there he is. The handsome chap there who's is slightly more relaxed. He's a lovely. Well, they both came across as lovely blokes. Right. But he also got Ian Callum, who was up till recently the reviewer. So he designed the I-Pace, he designed the XE, the XF, the XJ, and apparently he's designed the new XJ, which isn't out yet. Which is an EV.
Right. But he went on there.
And he went on here. So, and what he does is he goes and sits with them. Generally, he goes and sits with them in their place. So they don't go to him; he goes to them. So Ian McCallum, he's sitting in his factory.
Oh, cool.
This particular one, he went. This would interest you slightly more. He went to see a chap who's built an Aston Martin drag car.
Oh, right.
And this drag car's 2,800 horsepower. So what I've found since he's formed it as the Late Break Show, which is actually only relatively recently.
Yes.
The quality
has gone up,
and the production of it has jumped dramatically. And there's this drag car.
Oh God, that's an Aston. God, it looks nothing like an Aston, does it?
No.
It looks like a beast though. But yes, Johnny Smith.
But he drives it on the road.
Does he? Is that road legal?
They have the level that this chap competes in. They have to be road legal. And the other thing he's doing, this is his Nissan. What are they? Figo. And he's had that for 13 years, and he's just taking it to get it EV'd. So all the engines coming out. So
that'll be interesting.
Again, diverse.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was just reviews and things.
No.
I'll have to give him a
The one I'm most interested in, and they're being very few and far between, is the Austin Allegro that he's put this massive engine in, and he's having that sort of hot rodded.
Oh, cool. So he does a variety of cars then.
And I've got to say, I'm thoroughly enjoying what he's doing as the Late Break Show. I think it's been really interesting, right up my street.
Yes, because last time I watched him, he was just doing reviews and things, which doesn't, for me, it's not massively interesting. So him doing up cars and things, doing his own projects, I'll watch that.
No, the problem is, I sort of thought of, I could have put 30 different channels on for me, because I love so many.
Yes, you
But I thought, as the ones that have improved the most is definitely him.
Okay, right.
It's really good.
Yes, so should we move on to the next one?
Move on.
And we moved on to Adam Elzine as another one. So this is... I
do know a little bit about him.
This one to me is in a similar ballpark to Cletus, because it's sort of more on modified custom cars. But he's just done quite a good series on his mum's car. She's got a Pontiac Solstice, I think. I've never really heard of it. It's a little convertible car. But he's first of all, he turboed it without her knowing. Right. So then got her reaction. She doesn't like fast cars.
Okay.
So he turbocharged it, and now he's just put a Corvette LS3 engine in it.
And he does it himself?
Yeah, he's got a garage, and he's got mates who work with him.
He's talented then?
Yes, and it's interesting because I started watching him because I went to the skate park, and he used to be a BMX rider, professional BMX rider.
That's him.
Yes, he's... On his channel, he started off with a BMW. And
that's why it says LZ BMX.
Yes, and then he got into drifting, and then he sort of jacked in the BMXing, and now he's just on cars. Right. So he's got, I think now he's upped his cars to about 12 or 13 cars, and he's got a big variety, but he's very into drifting and sort of hot rods. So, like I said, he's put this engine in his mum's car, and her reaction's class. So he's done a little series on that. Does a lot of dyno testing. So if you're into the tuning side of cars, he does a lot of that. And his mate's a PC whiz, you know, so he's always doing the dyno and all the tuning and things, which I think is quite fascinating. And he's just bought an RS6 as well.
Now, I used to watch a few of his, but it was a long time ago. So I don't know why he sort of dropped off
your radar.
Well, I got so many that's part of the problem.
But it's sort of the three I've chosen are the ones that when they pop up, I go, ooh, and I watch. You know, that there's not many that I do that. There's not many I go, oh yeah, I want to watch that. But these are the sort of videos that I want to watch. You see, because he does some very interesting things and things that you'd want to do, but I'd never have the bottle to do it.
Well, all the three you've chosen, I've noted, are vastly higher subscribed than mine.
Yes, yeah, they are.
But even so, this chap's got 3.5 million, was it? Subscribers.
Yeah.
And I don't really, and that Cletus, I didn't have any clue that he existed.
No, you see.
But that's why we've done this, because although Carwow may be one that we know, and he's got millions of subscribers, you may have never, for some reason, watched it. That's
the thing, isn't it? Like the Cletus, he's got 2 and a bit million. You didn't know he really existed.
No.
These sort of things are very good. And this Adam LZ I like because, you know, he came from working in a restaurant and now he's got his dream garage with his cars, and it's nice to see. You know, I like seeing that.
Can't fault that. I like that.
So I like it, and all the things he does, he really enjoys. You know, you can tell he's passionate about them.
Yes.
And I just think he's a really good channel.
And he hasn't got the camera up his nose.
No, he hasn't. He's got a proper filmer, which is nice because it makes the whole experience much better, doesn't it?
Well, that's what I've really noticed. I've never noticed it as much as I have with Johnny Smith. It's transformed.
Yes, I suppose because you've gone from watching the.
Well, I had to stop watching. I've always liked him for years since he was on Fifth Gear. So, but I had to stop watching him as car pervert because I just couldn't watch it. It was so badly done.
Yes.
And now it's transformed overnight, so it's really good. But this chap, I watched this one last night.
Yes,
I watched this one because I do like an RS6, and it was mildly entertaining to say the least when he slammed that thing.
Yes, because he does sort of lots of series on the same car. You know, he goes through a video per sort of upgrade as such. So he ekes them out a bit, but it's good content, I suppose.
It's very clever how he did this, actually. A lot less effort than I thought, because I thought he was going to rebag it, but he didn't. He just fiddled with the electronics.
Yes.
He's done he's very clever.
And as you can see in the back, his mates, they're all very talented car mechanics.
The welding.
Yeah, the welding.
I mean, you know, if you like a bit of welding, which I do.
Yes.
His TIG welding is nothing short of sensational.
Yes, so there's sort of multiple skills on this channel, which is quite cool to watch. But I just thought I'd recommend it as my third because it's one of the channels I really enjoy.
Yeah, I know. And you've given, you know, and hopefully this has helped other people. Because you've given me 2 channels now. I think I'm subscribed to him, but I'm definitely not to Cletus.
To Cletus, yeah.
And I will, because they're
just different, aren't they?
Well, sometimes you struggle to watch something.
Yes,
so
yeah. So you've got some more things to watch when you're bored.
Pucker.
But they're all the ones, so we've got to come down to a final decision on a winner. Are we going to go for a joint decision winner, or are we going to go for a winner each? It depends
if we... we'll go for a winner each, I think.
Okay.
And mine is extremely hard, because I've had years of enjoyment from Fully Charged. That's been going 10 years. And I've had... As you know, love Harry's Garage.
Yep.
I love Harry's Garage. Out of my 3, I'd really struggle. But I think what I would do is I'd give it to the one who's improved the most.
Yeah.
And that would be The Late Break Show.
The Late Break Show. Interesting.
Which is a surprise choice for me.
So congratulations on The Late Break Show for Johnny's win. And for mine, I think Carwow is Carwow. You know, he's always been very similar. So I'm not sure I'm going to let him win. Cletus and Adam LZ. Cletus, I think he's got a nice variety, but if I had to watch him all day, would I get bored? Maybe, because all his content is sort of similar. Big engine, big cars. So I think if I had to give the award for myself, I'd give it to Adam LZ. Because his videos are so different, lots of different cars here, there, everywhere. I think he's got the better variety for me.
To be fair, that's probably why I picked my 3, because they are diverse in what they do. I mean, nothing's more diverse than Fully Charged.
True.
And what he's achieved on that Fully Charged, one thing I didn't mention is that he does a Fully Charged live.
Okay.
Where It's at Silverstone this year,
Right.
and he gets nearly every car manufacturer there, every wind generator,
Really?
and thousands of people. I mean, it's considering how few. When I looked at how few subscriptions he's got, what they do is nothing short of amazing.
Right.
If you think compared to Carwow,
Yeah.
what's he got? I mean, 600,000 against 4 million.
5 million, yeah.
It's incredible because fully charged is, no disrespect to Carwow, vastly more diverse and interesting.
There's no getting
channel.
away from it.
And he does a lot. It's a much harder channel, I would think, to manage.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So potentially fully charged should have won for me, but I'm going to give it to Johnny Smith because he's improved so much.
Yes,
but
it looks like a proper
Adam
professional. Yeah, Adam LZ and Johnny Smith.
Well, and thank you for all of those for entertaining us for a year.
Yes, whilst quarantining, we've been watching you all the time.
Yeah, so all of them, fantastic.
Yes, so let us know in the comments what you think. Who do you like?
Who have we missed?
Yes.
We would love to know channels we've missed.
And also say if you haven't seen any of them before.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen any and you watch them through us, that would be
very interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting, and tell us what you think.
Yes, but I think we've rambled on enough. So
too much as you told me not to.
So I think we'll leave it at that.
Okay,
we'll catch you in the next video.
And as fully charged would say, if you have been watching,
yes,
thank you.
Thank you.